Born from Cronus and Rhea, Poseidon was swallowed whole at birth. However, when her sixth child Zeus was born, Rhea hid him in a cave and instead gave Cronus a stone wrapped in his clothes, which he swallowed. When Zeus came of age, he disguised himself as an Olympian cupbearer, poisoned his father's wine with a potion, and tricked him to drink it. This led to Cronus disgorging Zeus's siblings, his sisters Hestia, Demeter, and Hera. Also among them were his brothers Hades and Poseidon. After Poseidon was rescued from Cronus by Zeus, he teamed up with him and his other siblings against Cronus and the Titans. The Hecatonchires and the Cyclopes also fought against Cronus and the other Titans in the battle of the gods known as Titanomachy. In this battle, the Olympians, the younger generation led by Zeus, defeated the Titans and overthrew Cronus. Poseidon and his brothers then shared the world by drawing lots. Poseidon was named the Lord of the Seas and received the rivers and the oceans. Hades received the underworld, where he ruled over the souls of the deceased, while Zeus received the heavens and became the king of the Greek gods. Welcome to the History Realm. Today we will go over 5 stories about Poseidon that stood the test of time. Feel free to press the like button to support the channel. Now, let's start with the harvest goddess of ancient Greece, Demeter. She was also Poseidon's sister and a highly revered goddess among the ancient Greeks, who produced much of their food. However, Demeter once turned down Poseidon's advances for his love. She attempted to elude him by transforming into a mare and blending in with King Anchios's herd of horses. Even as a mare, she was unable to hide her divinity, though. When Poseidon noticed this, he changed into a stallion and joined the herd, tricking Demeter. He then forced her to mate with him, and after the attack, Demeter became enraged and withdrew into a cave to purify herself. A global famine resulted from the deaths of cattle and crops brought on by her absence. In the end, she let the river Ladon wash her rage away. Demeter eventually gave birth to a daughter named Desponia and to Arion, a horse with the ability to speak human language. Since Arion the horse was born from the god of the sea, I wonder, does that make him a seahorse? If so, let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's move on. Was Poseidon married? If so, how did he actually find a wife? Well, the answer is Amphitrite. She belonged to the group of sea nymphs known as the Nereids. Poseidon encountered Amphitrite as she and the other Nereids were dancing on the island of Naxos during his quest for a wife. He chose to wed her after falling in love with her, but Amphitrite turned down his marriage proposal and ran away to Atlas, the furthest reaches of the ocean. Poseidon didn't give up and dispatched his devoted companion Delphin, a god fashioned like a dolphin, to find her. After locating Amphitrite, Delphin persuaded her to wed Poseidon by effectively arguing his case. In a soothing and comforting voice, he told her that Poseidon really did love her and would not harm her, also to think about all the benefits that would come from the marriage. Then Amphitrite agreed to come back and she married Poseidon. Let's just say, the dolphin was the #1 lawyer in the sea. Anyways, the two were married in a great celebration. Delphine was honored by Poseidon, who made him the constellation Delphinus and placed him among the stars. Poseidon and Amphitrite have 3 offspring named Benthesicyme, Rhode, and Triton. Even though a queen of the sea, Amphitrite doesn't make many appearances after that, but she does show up in various works of art from that time. In them, she wears the robes of a queen and carries a 3-pointed scepter called a trident. Well, at least she became the queen of the seas. Now, we can't forget the great rebellion against Zeus. It starts with Hera, the queen of the gods and wife of Zeus. Once, she persuaded the gods to rebel against Zeus. This insurrection was led by Hera, Apollo, and Poseidon. Zeus was drugged by Hera, and his thunderbolt was taken by the other gods, who tied him to his bed. However, Briareus, a giant who had 100 arms and 50 heads, who had been freed by Zeus from the prison Tartarus, overheard their conversation and realized that Zeus was tied up. He sneaked in and untied the king of the gods. Once Zeus was free, he grabbed his iconic weapon, the thunderbolt, and threatened to strike down the gods who had bound him. The gods begged for their lives, and Zeus showed mercy on them, but the same could not be said for Hera, Poseidon, and Apollo. Zeus was furious due to the rebellion, and he punished the gods. Poseidon and Apollo, to atone for their part in the failed rebellion, were sent to Phrygia to serve as slaves to King Laomedon of Troy for 1 year. Together, the two gods built the famous impenetrable walls around Troy. As for Hera's punishment for attempting to overthrow him, Zeus seized Hera and hung her in the sky with golden chains. Hera wailed in pain all night, but no one would help her out of fear of Zeus. But after, getting no sleep that night, Zeus approached Hera the next morning and agreed to take her down off the chains if she promised that she would never go against him. She broke faster than a speeding ticket. Hera reluctantly had to agree to be released from the chains, but she continued to use her cleverness against Zeus any chance she got. Seems like these two just needed a divorce. Next, we have a great story about a white bull. In Greek mythology, Minos was the son of Zeus and Europa, and the first king of Crete. To justify his accession as king, Minos prayed to Poseidon for a sign. Poseidon sent a white bull from the sea, which Minos was supposed to sacrifice in honor of Poseidon. But Minos developed a soft corner for the bull and could not bring himself to sacrifice it. He instead substituted it was a different bull. When Poseidon learned of this, he was furious. He asked the goddess of love, Aphrodite, to punish Minos by making his queen Pasiphae to fall in love with the white bull. I think it's safe to say that Poseidon was a real bully. Anyways, Pasiphae developed a mad passion for the bull and mated with it, leading to the birth of a horrible monster named Asterius, who was a minotaur, which comes to mean bull of Minos, half man, half bull. In compliance with certain oracles, the king locked him up and guarded him in the labyrinth. Lastly, we have Poseidon's involvement in the Trojan War. The Trojan War was a major war between mortals in Greek mythology. During the Trojan War, Poseidon fought on behalf of the Greeks because he held a grudge against Laomedon, the old Trojan king, the father of King Priam. However, there is also a myth that says that he worked against them on one occasion. The Greeks had built an impressive wall around their ships, and Poseidon was jealous of that because he had built the rival Trojan walls along with Apollo. Hence, he is said to have helped the Trojans destroy the Greek wall. However, Poseidon mostly helped the Greeks in the war. Like when the Greek soldiers were lacking in morale, Poseidon encouraged the troops indirectly by disguising himself as an old seer named Calchas in order to rouse and empower the Greek forces, while Zeus is not observing the battle. Later, after the war, he kept Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, from his home for 10 years to punish the Greek hero for blinding his son Polyphemus during his encounter with the Cyclops. Poseidon, the vengeful god of the seas, full of wrath and stands as a king of his realm. Well, there you have it. Quick 5 stories about the Lord of the Seas himself, Poseidon. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more future stories. I have also linked another great video here above for you to enjoy and keep the stories going. Until next time on the History Realm.